Whoops. Okay. I actually almost forgot that was going to happen. Um, I'll edit the title afterwards. I know that character-wise, I have to make something else shorter to add a space where I want it to be. But I just thought I'd do a really quick one because I did do one this morning, and I have some other things I'd like to do, which didn't include when I came to do this video, some videos of interest. But I just thought I'd do a quick podcast. Just before I left, we had a delivery that I had forgotten we were expecting. We ordered groceries online, and there was a couple items that we'd selected that I didn't realize we'd finalized, but I don't think it was super expensive, that we had selected for that ended up having to be delivered on a different date. I almost called him to find out, but he wouldn't have necessarily known this, or the other person in the house. I decided to look because I actually thought it might be something else, and maybe it still will be. But that I've been kind of thinking it might be for a while now. Anywho, it was a couple different things, but one of the cool things, although I'm just noticing something else about it that I didn't notice before, so I don't know. And I don't exactly understand how this works, but it's some sort of lip chapstick type stuff, but it's not just Coke flavored, it's cherry Coke. So I probably won't like that. He might. Doesn't exactly work very often because we get dry lips, dry itchy kind of lips stuff. But the other good news is that, and I decided because I didn't want to forget, I didn't think I would or talk myself out of it thinking, oh, I know, but I decided to go into a place on the way back to where I was heading for a specific time, although I was early, and yeah, I don't know if it would have been different then. I guess even though it's only 20 to 2 here, it feels later. I give you things I need, but I'll be done in a moment. I guess it was lunch hour, but I heard a couple people talking in one or two offices, but I don't know if those were appointments or just on the phone or with coworkers. And we get 2 viewers. Welcome. I'm kind of hoping Sheila, who's homesick, might view this. I know she was there for a while and said she'd check out some of the other ones. I don't think I noticed any new notifications, or the rest of the one that she had seen. But the two of them left. I mean, you didn't have to be Sheila, but it's better if you are. No, just kidding. Anywho, but just having an eye for detail and that kind of thing. When I went in, yeah, like I say, there was, a very short hall, and all the office doors were closed. One of them had coats hanging on the inside. I could tell it was like a glass window. And then there was a waiting room, and then there was more offices. And I don't think the door dinged. I didn't see anything to ring, but maybe I just didn't see it. Nobody came out, except for me. Just kidding. But as I was leaving, I happened to recognize a name on one of the doors, a unique last name on one of them, and another name that is somewhat unique, even though some may say it's a mix of Russian French, actually. And yeah, she does do this kind of work. So I'm hoping that even though I haven't talked to this person in a while, and that was one thing I had to get, but I think I could because it's so near home, and she might be able to help me get a foot in the door for a job opportunity, and or interning, volunteering, seeing where things lead, and also involvement. I didn't see. Well, there may have been some bigger rooms in the back or other floors that they had as well. It wasn't a super tall building, and it's a fairly new place in our neighborhood. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what happens from that as we get a viewer tuning in. Welcome. I'm sitting on it still, right? And then the other one, she has an arm injury. She didn't answer if she was related to the other person, but she did get back to me. Last time she didn't, usually she's good. Also, I went to a food hamper thing because, times are tight right now, and I found out about it, and yeah. But in the video I did previous to this, I was talking about somebody from Philadelphia. one of the main inspirations was actually a friend that passed away, which I connect to the place I was at actually. But we got Philadelphia cream cheese. We also, and we got to pick, from the items. But a few in each section. The other thing we got, and I'm so about this, but is honey dill sauce. And the clubs that my friend used to work at used to be pretty well known for their French fries and the chicken fingers with honey dill sauce. So even though I didn't doubt that, I don't doubt that she's, her spiritual presence is with me, and they were all individually bagged in these interesting bags. Um, Little things like that, if we look for symbols, signs and symbols like that, we can know that they are. And then, actually, and then I got a bracelet. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it on, but maybe I'll hook it on my bag or something. I haven't actually even looked at. Hello, Sunny. How are you? I haven't actually even looked at this all that closely, but interesting, very interesting. Stretchy. I don't know. And I got an interestingly colored shirt because they also have some clothing giveaway. Yeah, right now times are just a bit more of a struggle. Hello, Sunny. How are you? How can I help you? Anywho, so somebody just tuned in. I pretty much covered. You can't have apples and oranges, but aren't you glad I didn't say banana? So I'm talking to a dog here. Quick look. Well, if I can't fit this, it's kind of stretchy and interesting. Maybe you will. Very interesting material. What is this made out of? Almost seems like tissue paper. That's what he calls, but no, it's not. That's what he calls Kleenex for some reason. Anywho, I've got some things I want to do now. So, nobody's here at the moment. I was kind of hoping Sheila might come back in, but if you see this, Sheila, like I say, feel free to check out the rest of the one you saw, the first part, and any others. And yeah, this one's going to be quite contrasted to the previous one. Going to keep it quite short because I got some things I want to do. But make it updated the person I live with a little bit. Some messages which I haven't sent through yet, and a little bit on the phone. But yeah, the other one was much longer. This one's shorter. Somebody just tuned in. I'm sorry that I am about to wrap it up. Happy that you're here, though. And sometimes I say that, and it's not the case. This time, I think, as far as about to wrap it up, always happy when you're here and people are engaging. However, there's lots of content on this channel, various mental health, music, other healing, random. So feel free in the viewer. But, anybody, feel free to check out the stuff. I don't like when people say it right at the beginning, and it wasn't right at the beginning. It's still early on, but like I say, I don't intend for this to be long. So, because, I like people to have a little bit of an idea as to whether they want to like and subscribe. And sometimes you have to watch more than one video to decide, but hopefully you'll like and subscribe. Say this channel was dormant for a while, then started back up. So it's just kind of, getting back into the algorithms, I guess. So that's why it's a big number, but there's not a lot going on. not sometimes looks quiet. Doesn't mean the content's not good though, right? Anywho, yeah. So before somebody else tunes in and ends up keeping me here, because if they're engaging, I'm not going to want to leave. They wouldn't want me to. So I'm going to giving you some good pets here. Yeah, because you are a good pet. Anywho, gotta go. Talk to you later. Bye. Take care.